Well, we had an election yesterday.
President Joe Biden and his Democratic Party kept their Senate majority, but lost the House in midterm elections, a better result than expected. But perhaps nearly as important to the president, voters rejected many candidates who seized on the false narrative that the 2020 presidential election was stolen.
Our democracy has been tested in recent years, but with their votes, the American people have spoken and proven once again that democracy is who we are.
Since the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack, more than 900 people have been charged over the incident, and former President Donald Trump is facing legal peril in multiple cases. Both parties have largely accepted the 2022 midterms results, leading analysts like New York Times columnist Thomas Friedman to conclude that America's democratic institutions are holding.
And then something just remarkable happened. Principled Republicans, principled Democrats, principled independents got together, identified who are the biggest threats to that core ability of us to legitimately transfer power, whether they're running for Secretary of State or Treasurer or Congressman or Senate. And they basically voted against every single one of them, defeating virtually every single one of them.
Overseas, Biden and Secretary of State Antony Blinken say both China's and Iran's crackdowns on street protests, as well as Russia's invasion of Ukraine, highlight a global struggle between democracy and authoritarianism.
American leadership must meet this new moment of advancing authoritarianism, including the growing ambitions of China to rival the United States and the determination of Russia to damage and disrupt our democracy.
But one analyst told VOA that U.S. policy does not always match up with the president's pro-democracy framework when it comes to countering authoritarians in places like Latin America and Southeast Asia. Dalibor Rohac with the research group American Enterprise Institute.
So it's not so much that the framing is wrong, but rather that we haven't accompanied that framing with effective policies, like, efforts at trade liberalization that would bring tangible benefits to populations of, say, India and Indonesia from working more closely with the United States.
Other critics say President Biden should speak out more forcefully on issues such as the protest in China over repressive COVID policies, or the ongoing anti-hijab rallies in Iran, sparked by the death in police custody of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini. Former Vice President Mike Pence urged the White House to speak out more, recalling that former President Barack Obama admitted making a mistake by not speaking out during similar protests in Iran in 2009.
And I am hopeful that President Biden will take that counsel, if not from me, then from the president with whom he served, and let America speak out and speak out on behalf of people in China.
Experts differ on how Biden can best persuade other countries to strengthen democracy. Some suggest Russia's war against Ukraine has been so destabilizing that the Biden administration would be better off framing the global struggle with autocrats as a choice between stability and instability. Cindy Saine, VOA News.